Everybody out there, give me a 5x5 when everybody starts rolling in. I know I'm a little early, but let's just say the first attempt didn't go too well. No, we're not too bad early. 8 o'clock. We're 8 minutes till. Afternoon, Mrs. Dragonflies. Good to see you. Everything looking sound okay? Mr. Ryan, good to see you. Thank you, ma'am. We'll give it a few more minutes. Like I said, I'm a little early. Let everybody come. Give them time to get in. Miss Tamara, good to see you. Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Like I said, started a little early. Uh, I found that out myself, Mr. Draco. You don't have to have 1,000 subs to go live. But now this gives everybody a chance to think about a few questions they want to throw at me and see if I can come up with a decent answer. Good to see you off the wall. I'm glad you can make it. I'm sure you've got some creative questions you want to throw at me. Well, hopefully it turns out and everybody's satisfied with what I can come up with tonight. Yeah, Dragonflies. I've co-starred in or guest appearance in a couple, like Off the Walls, and there was another one I can't remember exactly right off, but yeah, this is the first live. I'm glad everybody could show up and show the support. I appreciate it. Evening, Beth. Good to see you. Jesse, glad you can make it. Now that's a great topic, which Off the Wall had a great chat there earlier. Had a lot of good answers come up in that one. I believe everybody will find out when it actually does kick off that what they think they'll do now will be a little different from what they do then. Southern Prepper, glad to see you. Glad you can make it, brother. Frank, good to see you. That's a good topic that Dragonflies brought up there. A lot of the what ifs. And yeah, a lot of us think that we're going to be Billy Joe Badass and all that, but it's a little different when rounds actually start flying. Uh, your mouth tends to dry up. You get that metallic taste. Uh, you get jittery. It's a little different when the game's actually on. I'm trying to keep up with chat here. It is moving pretty good. So far, we got 11 in already. That's one question Off the Wall asked a couple of times in some of his live chats. You know, how many people has actually seen a firefight or seen something that's kind of nasty? Uh, it's a life-changing experience. It really is. Like I said, you'll get that metallic taste. You get jittery, and at that point in time, it's all reflex. There's not a whole lot of time to stop and think. So you better have your shit packed tight, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, exactly, Dragonflies. The adrenaline's pumping. You're not thinking straight. Exactly, Off the Wall. Animal instincts will take effect. And that's why I would tell everybody you need to practice as much as possible with your 2A toys. Muscle memory will be key. You're not going to have time to stop and focus and take a dead aim because you're worried about ducking for cover, trying to make sure you don't get hit while trying to throw something downrange. So muscle memory will be key in a firefight. Which hopefully none of us have to experience that firsthand. Unfortunately, I have been one of the unlucky ones, and let's just say you'll have trouble sleeping at night. Thank you, Miss Dragonflies. Yes, please, if everybody don't mind, smash that thumbs up. Rip Curl, good to see you, brother. Like I was saying, though, it will cause some sleepless nights. It's not something that you want to wish on anybody. Candy, good to see you. And hopefully that when the shift does kick off, which I don't even like that word shift, if a crisis kicks off, to me, shifting is something you do while you drive a car, right? You shift gears, but when a crisis kicks off, I hope we're all settled in far enough away from it where we won't have to deal with that for a while. And that's another good topic. Where are you going to station yourself in a crisis? Say when it does all kick off. Hopefully you're far enough away in a secluded area, kind of like me or Off the Wall and Dragonflies, far enough away from the main drag to where you'll just have to worry about a few stragglers now and then instead of the main horde. Because even a well-organized mag will have a hard time dealing with the horde. Exactly, Dragonflies. Hurricanes, floods, etc. Yep. Agree totally. It don't have to be the end of the world to be a crisis, right? Oh, Miss Flora, good to see you. AKA Mrs. KY. uh, yeah, Frank, that's not something you ever really want to walk up on. And if anybody's ever been around a decaying body, that's a smell you'll never forget, too. Afternoon Magic, glad to see you. It depends on how big of a city there, Southern Prepper. I live in a small backwoods town, so hopefully I won't have to deal with a lot of that. Which around here, prepping is more a way of life instead of just prepping. We're all old school, country folk around here, and We can every year just a can, right? We all grow gardens. It's just a way of life around here. So I'm in a pretty good position. And plus, like I said, I've got a couple of nurses that live close by, so got medical pretty well in pocket. And hopefully, Southern Prepper 3, you'll get to meet some new folks, real like minded, and you can start building your mag as soon as possible, right? Oh, no, that's another good point. Sleeping shifts, if you can, if you've got enough people in your household that's combat or trained with a 2A toy, even though if they're not, they can still wake up somebody that is trained with a 2A toy. But definitely, I believe everybody in the household needs trained uh, with a caliber that's suited for them. Well, Southern Prepper, if the dollar does drop, it'll be a while before they start rounding up unpaid debts. Uh, they'll be worried about other things first. Probably like people control, because when the dollar does drop, everybody's going to freak, and they ain't going to be worried about collecting on your debt. I don't think, but that's a personal opinion. I might be wrong. I don't think so, Draco. Which that's a good thought. We're all still going to have to band together, women, children, men, uh, which hopefully the men will step up and guard the flock like they should. But we will lose quite a few men due to that. But we still need to carry on in generations, so we will still need the women and children to learn and carry on. Farmer son, I believe I seen you pop in there. Good to see you, sir. Like I said, we'll go ahead and open up and just whatever's on your mind, throw it at me, and I'll see if I can come up with a decent answer. Which, keep in mind, this is just an old country boy's opinion. Okay, dragonflies. We was just talking about what would happen if the cards, now it faded out there. Uh, okay, Social Security acceptor turned off and froze. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, in my area, there's a lot of people that do get government assistance. And I put a lot of thought into that. There's going to be a lot of desperate, needy people quick. Uh, Fortunately for me in my area, a lot of churches have stepped up and will help some of these people. And even at that point, they're still going to have trouble with the amount of people that will need help. So, unfortunately, yeah, we're going to see some 2A action, I believe, when that does fall apart. Okay. Okay, Arkansas whoop ass. Yeah. Unfortunately, when the government starts hollering that they are running out of funds, that means that their government programs will be some of the first cut. You know as well as I do, the politicians won't take a pay cut. Uh, the people are going to pay the price for that. Ooh, Draco, sounds like you grew up in an interesting time and area, which is awesome because you probably learned some things that other people haven't learned. Okay, just waiting for the next question here. Uh, Well, Loretta, Virginia, at least you're in the Appalachian Range, right? You could be in worse places. Yeah, Southern Prepper 3, that would be a bad deal if it is permanent, not temporary. Which comes into the discussion that the food lines, you know, the FEMA support groups and stuff like that, uh, people will be dependent on the government and unfortunately will have to follow the program, if you know what I'm saying. And when it comes between starving or, the old pokey poke, most of them won't have a whole lot of choice. They'll bend the knee to eat. Right, dragonflies? Uh, that would be nice off the wall, but the banks are run by the elite, and the elite, I don't think, is going to lose out on their money. They'll find a way to collect. That's why they're the elite, right? They know how to squeeze everybody for that last dollar. Yeah, Texas is a good place to be. They like their two-way toys down there quite a bit, so you could be in worse places, Magic. Yeah, I seen that little short there, Southern Prepper 3. So we're going to have lawnmower drag races. That'll be cool to watch. Maybe we can get together and I'll be at the starting line with the flag, right? Now, that is another good topic off the wall. People are stocking up a lot of precious metals. Personally, I'm stocking up in lead and brass. I've got a little bit of silver, but uh, well, mine's a zero turn off the wall, so I don't believe I can hardly keep up with you guys when you get your little dragster set up. Yeah, that's true off the wall. Countries are buying up gold. Russia is really kicking it in that department. Everybody seems to think there's a lot of things going on there that I believe is a lot of smoke screen. Exactly, dragonflies. Lead and brass to protect the silver and gold. Prepper Camper, good to see you, brother. See, I told you I'd get one up here in a couple of days. Took me a little longer than I thought, but I finally got us alive going. Yeah, Beth D. Unfortunately, I think they're gearing up to be a little more aggressive than just protecting the gold. That is true, Nanya. You can't eat it, but you can use it to pay your way through some trouble. Exactly, Prepper Camper. Since that most of us are going to be designated as MVEs, right? Uh, which is a bunch of baloney. Trying to stay polite. Just because you want to stand up for your rights, don't mean that you are going to be violent or a terrorist. Uh, Southern Prepper 3, the unnecessary IRS agents, right? Let's dig into this just for a second. My opinion on that, you don't arm that many people under the directive of uh, use of deadly force without the intentions of using deadly force. So when you get audited, or, you know, since everybody is going to get audited here coming up in a few, uh, they're going to be after the land. And if you don't vacate, they will vacate you. If you stand your ground, it could be a bad day. That is my opinion on the new IRS army that they are preparing. What other reason would they need the deadly use directive on your hiring form? Okay. Now, like I said, all this is just an old country boy's opinion, but I am keeping a close eye on that aspect. Just like how you like, what is it, Fish and Wildlife are getting suppressed 40 cows. Why does any government agency need suppressed weaponry? That's right, Draco. As they say, there's one behind every blade of grass. You're dead on right there, Opal. Yes, sir. Land, assets, anything that they can take from you that's worth $1. Guns and Coast, good to see you, brother. See, when a government starts to run out of money, like ours is doing right now, throwing money at other countries while we're going in the hole, they're going to start squeezing the populace, the people, right? Just like the days of old, you know, the whole Robin Hood story, the sheriff of Nottingham squeezing everybody for taxes to feed the rich king. Okay, just trying to keep up with chat here a little bit, guys. That's just a quick observation. That's kind of where I'm going at it. My opinion, Bethany. If they have to, they will forcibly take it. I'll tell you a little history on KY here. I've been a contractor my whole adult career, right? So when I file taxes, it's either 1099 and I go to long form and all this jazz. So I ain't gonna lie, I play the gray. Thanks off the wall. Uh, but now, if you play the gray area too much, the IRS will smack their hand for you. So, okay, well, I got audited. And the way they'll set up your payment plan is that the penalties, fees, and interest, unless you send amazing amounts of money as your payment, will normally accumulate more and faster than your payment plan is set up. And they threatened to come in and take my 3 business trucks at the time. Right down to they needed to know where I parked them, which I told them, you will collect burnt frames before you put me out of business. So I ended up talking to a few people wearing badges over that comment. They ended up taking one of the trucks, and that settled my audit because it was the newest truck I had in the fleet at the time. But yeah, they don't play games. When they want something, they will send people with guns to get it. Now that's a good question, Darko. Which fentanyl is a scary, scary topic. That is one reason right now in my county, if you are certified in CPR, you can go to the local health department and they will issue fentanyl, Narcan to you. In case you see an accidental overdose, you can administer the Narcan. Because with that stuff, there's no time to wait and dial 911 once it hits. You got to get fentanyl in them quick. Yeah. It could be a good thing off the wall. Farmer Son, you ever watch the movie Air America about the planes in Vietnam? if you'll dig a little deeper, you'll find out that that movie ain't really fictional. Uh, See, our government's been dealing drugs for a long time because it is a fast, quick source of money. Uh, yeah, so, well, that's great, Draco. It's an ugly process, but Narcan is a great product. Be careful, they will come up swinging if you ain't ready for it. And back to the whole fentanyl. Uh, Forgive me, my sinuses are all jacked up. They're cutting hay around in my area and it's driving my sinuses batty. But that's one reason I believe they won't shut off the border, right? If you want to slow down traffic, you can't shut the door. Well, it's nice to meet you, Aaron, and I'm glad it did. Okay, just checking chat here. Yeah, I believe we'd all like a new fake identity, Guns and Code. Uh, that way we can do what we want to do when we want to do it. Yes, sir, Prepper Camper. We all need to be focusing on getting safe and getting out of debt as much as possible. Don't give them no reason to knock on your door. That's something I need to quit. I do way too much of it. But hello, Miss Lisa. Good to see you. So, we got any more questions out there? Yes, Magic, get your ducks in a row if you can. I agree totally. Exactly, Farmer's Son. But now, it's hard to argue when there's 15 people pointing guns at your face, right? Unless you're ready to go toe to toe. And I would not advise that. Don't get me wrong, boys and girls, we've got a lot invested in our preps, but there ain't nothing worth dying for. If you can live to fight another day, live. And yes, I have seen, well, right now, currently, three Kentucky state troopers were sentenced to prison for violating constitutional rights. The two that actually done it got 20 years. They roughed the guy up pretty good, violated his Fourth Amendment. And the one that tried to help them cover it all up by turning off their cameras and deleting evidence, uh, he got 10 years for being an accomplice. So they are cracking down on a lot of that. So, but we still, don't get me wrong, boys and girls, I support the boys in blue. We need them more than people realize. But we do still have a lot of thugs with badges. So mind your P's and Q's and don't give them a reason to rough you up. Yes, Beth D, but that's a touchy topic on this platform. Uh, Big truck right away. Right, Magic. Always remember, boys and girls, material things aren't worth your life. You can always come back another day and re engage in the battle. Thank you, Beth. which I will advise everybody to get as much practice in as you can. Uh, Even though it was raccoons that visited our buddy off the wall the other night, we're going to see a lot more unwanted company before long. And I mean, even right now, my 10-year-old grandson knows how to properly use a firearm, right? And he knows when to draw the line and how to protect himself if he needs to. So it's not an age thing, it's just a responsibility thing, right? Uh, right, Farmer Son? Oh, hey, I was ready to head your way off a wall. Trust me, If I thought anybody was in bad trouble, I got you back. Which kind of aggravates me that our group is so far apart. Exactly, dragonflies. Situational awareness, right? That's something all of us need to practice. Uh, if you're not aware and alert, bad things can happen fast. And I appreciate everybody for hitting the thumbs. Appreciate the support. But maybe on the next live I'll have a dedicated topic and be a little more entertaining. But I figured this one would just be a good chance for everybody to get to know me a little better and mingle and catch a few of my opinions on things straight out. Uh, I'm big on the 2A training. I'm big on medical. Uh, Thanks, Lisa. Uh, that's a good point, Draco. People from other countries have a lot different experiences. Thank you, Farmer Son. Turn the camera the other way. What you want to see on the backside? uh, there, we'll give you a little more of the skull, right? Okay. Or is it the lighting? Because we can change some of that. Okay. Like I was saying, I'm big on medical. If anybody out there, I'm not a doctor by any means, but I do know how to put a turning ticket on, and I do know how to plug a hole. The thing with an IFAC, if you are not, okay, dragonflies, horizontal, all right. I'll keep that in mind. And the next time I set it up, I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I appreciate the tips, by the way. Thank you again, Miss Dragonflies. All right, I am big on training everybody in my household. Everybody needs to know how to use. Thanks off the wall. Yeah, I appreciate your comments on that video about the hat as well. I figured it would be appropriate to wear it in the live stream. Thank you, Magic, and stay safe. Uh, like I said, back on the topic there, even my 10-year-old grandson that lives with us right now, he has his own 22 rifle. They do sell them for children. His model is the Cricket, I believe is what they call it. Uh, it is good for them to know how to hunt and survive as well. I'm working on him in that department now after it took a little while to get him in on the safety aspects of the firearm. But now, like my 16-year-old daughter, she is down to earth and can get it done. Uh, which she is already certified in CPR and taking I want to say like a pre-med class in high school. She's on it. That girl's got her head on straight. I'm real proud of her. And if any of your children have that opportunity in your area, Bethany, that's another big misconception in the prepper community. There's nothing on this planet worth dying for. If you can't win the battle, run. Nothing on this planet is worth dying for except for maybe your children. I will give you that. I will stand and fight for my children. And that's only to give them enough time to get away. But if I see that I am going to lose, I will don't have them on the move. And hopefully I will be able to get out of the area and regroup with my family. You have to be tactical, boys and girls. Set up plans how to evac your property. Because food, although it is a necessity, and water, you can find it in other places. It's not worth dying for. So if you have to relocate. Don't, I'll put it this way. Everybody says their home is the Alamo. Yeah, we lost the Alamo, folks. We lost it bad. It was ugly. Don't be that person. It's always better to live to fight again another day. And I will say this, if everybody is good on their preps, and I might show this in another video, exactly off the wall. Plan A, B, C, D, you got to have multiple plans. If you're good on your preps, and like I said, I'll probably do a video on this later on. I just ain't been able to here lately, but armor is key. And I'm not talking El Cheapo, exactly, farmer son. A good 3A plus or level 4 armor. I prefer the steel plates. I don't like the ceramic. Well, that's what a lot of us southern folks think, dragonflies. Hopefully it's true. But yeah, invest in armor, boys and girls. No, I ain't saying put that as priority. Wait until you've got your food, water. Once you're at a year's worth of food and water and medical, you can start looking at other options for your preps. And I would say armor would fall into that category. Right now, mine is 3A plus. I have the 500, steel plates. I think I give like $400 for mine through Spartan Armor. Now, granted, it will add roughly. There's always a way, Beth D. Don't call it running. Yeah, because that does hurt a lot of people's feelings. But have a motorized way of evac, right? Keep a four-wheeler fueled up. Don't use it for nothing but that purpose. Or any kind of vehicle that would make it to where you could escape. Same with you, Tamara. Don't worry about that, Bestie. It'll work out. Trust me. Uh, Nothing's worth the sacrifice, right? Except, like I said, maybe exactly even your lawnmower, right? Anything. There's other options. You just got to think about it for a second. And I ain't trying to be rude or anything. I'm just saying the sacrifice ain't worth it. You're more important than you know. Normally, like Mrs. KY, she's the glue that holds everything together. Right? I'm good in my area. The kids are good in their area. But without the glue to hold it together, it'll fall apart. Beth D, you might be the glue that holds your family together. Same with you, Tamara. Never second guess your worth. Hey, Chef Kicker, good to see you. Uh, exactly, Southern Prepper 3. I know in a lot of my videos, I come off maybe a little cold hearted or ill tempered sometimes, but the there's always that one member of the family that holds everything together. So if you're not able to run a mile in 10 seconds, or you can't carry 500 pounds on your shoulder like He Man, so what? You're still a crucial part of that family. Uh, you're needed more than you know. Well, okay, boys and girls, we're about 43 minutes in, so if we got any more questions there, go ahead and throw them at me, and we'll get a few more answers out there. Wish I am tickled to death to see everybody tonight. I appreciate all the support. Thanks off the wall there. I appreciate all the comments. Exactly, dragonflies. That'd be something that Beth and Tamara could look into. Just a little wagon or just anything with wheels. All right. Yeah, that's awesome, Central Country, Kentucky prepper. Maybe we can hook up sometime. I'm right on the Tennessee border on the I-75 corridor. Shoot me an email and we'll get a coffee someday or something. Will do, Southern Prepper. As soon as I get a little more in tune on some of this, I'll hook you up right there. And by the way, Southern Prepper 3, tight little girl. I said howdy, right? Sure thing, former son. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out some of the ins and outs here. Well, anytime you guys are in the area, hit me up. I don't care to drive a little ways to buy a cup of coffee. That is awesome, SP3. That's good to know. Sure thing, Central Kentucky. We'll do that. That is for sure, farmer son. Well, now it depends on which way you travel, Dragonfly. A lot of times, most people come right through my town to get to Gatlinburg. I know where Greenville is. Been there a couple of times. Alrighty. Used to go to Luke's a lot. Well, I don't know Luke, so okay. Draco, that's a good question. Rules of engagement. I'll tell you KY's rule of engagement. Do not fire unless fired upon. Be locked and loaded and ready. Okay, I know where Elizabethtown is. Been there. Okay. Back to the question. The child. No, children are sacred in my book. I will never fire on a child. Chuck, good to see you. Okie, good to see you. A woman. Uh, Contrary to what some may believe, a woman is just as deadly, if not deadlier, than most men, which the same goes for that. Will not fire unless fired upon. Uh, so that pretty well covers the whole rules of engagement. I'm not looking for trouble, but I will end it if I need to, if I'm able to. Probably so. Central Kentucky, little town of Williamsburg. I live right between Williamsburg and Corbin. We are one of the only areas that, well, there's only two places in the world that has the moon bow, and I live roughly 10 miles from the waterfall. So if anybody's ever in the area and wants to drop in, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. But that, yeah, that, like I said, that pretty well covers my rules of engagement. I'm not, uh, actually, if I'm on a scout party, I'm going to be the guy in the shadows. I don't want to reveal anything I don't have to, and I'm not looking to be a warlord. I'm looking to find what I need and get back to camp. Uh, if I don't have to waste ammo, I'm not going to. Because even a 22 long rifle can be heard for quite a distance. And you start popping off rounds out of an AR or a 308, you're going to alert everybody in a half-mile radius of your position, right? And they're going to know a conflict or a kill has happened, and they're going to come running, either to help them or maybe help you. But either way, that's more people that you're going to have to deal with that you don't need to deal with. Uh, Even suppressed, right? You're still going to alert people in the immediate area, and there's still going to be more people you're going to have to tend to, whether friends or foe. And the best way to survive a conflict is not to start a conflict if you don't have to. And that pretty well wraps up my rules of engagement. Because one, lead will be hard to find. Two, medical supplies will be hard to find. Three, surgery will be extremely hard to find. A good surgeon in the shift, they're going to be hoarded up. They're going to be working for people that can treat them well, right? So, and even a small gunshot wound, say a leg, shoulder, that's going to require somebody to go in there and sew some things up. So if you don't have to jump into that situation, don't. Like I said earlier, it's always better to run and live as to stand and take that chance you may not live. And no, that I know to some that would sound like a coward, but it's not. It's survival. Gotta use your head, folks. Keep it on straight. And because once you start that conflict, lead starts flying. You may not walk away. All right, boys and girls, since I started a little early, I believe I'll go ahead and jump off here. And I appreciate everybody for showing up. And that way we can all get a drink, the bathroom break for Off the Wall coming up here shortly. And I hope to see everybody over there. All right. Like I said, I appreciate everybody for showing up and all the support. And we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Keep your head in the game. It'll keep you alive. I promise. And girls, Tamara, Beth, don't ever second guess your worth. You're worth more than you know. This is KY. Stay safe, people. I'm out.